song here for the Arena Pro Swim Series on the season. The men's 1,500 meter freestyle. Sung Young, world record holder, scheduled, scratched out of this event. Saw him in the prelims of the 400 and then have not seen him the rest of this event. But Ryan Cochran certainly coming through. Two-time Olympic medalist in this event. Bronze in Beijing, silver in London. And he headlines the field here, top qualifying time in lane number 5.
Ryan's sixth fastest performer in history, one of the very few swimmers in history to break 14:40. It's like a little piece of balsa wood, not a big guy at all on the top of the water, just kind of skims right on top of the water. Just very consistent throughout his career, 27 years of age and still going strong in the middle distance and distance swimming. Certainly the 1,500 is best of all.
McLaughlin, Aussie Olympian, alongside in lane number 6. Fourth fastest time in the world in this event this year. They'll settle into a groove. Jason Knapp here with Rowdy Gaines. Been a terrific weekend, and we've got one of the all-time best joining us for a little time, Natalie Coughlin, gracious enough to grant us some time to chat about her progress. What do you think about your weekend here in San Francisco?
My weekend here, the times weren't what I was looking for, but you really have to approach this meet like a progress report, especially for the Americans. We have our Olympic trials in 3 weeks, and so a lot of us are in that weird time where you're starting to rest, but you don't really feel rested, but you feel out of sorts, and it's just all part of the process, and you have to have faith in it. And you know, I talked to my coach Dave Durden, and he was really happy with how I looked for the majority of the races. So I have to have faith in him.
I read a great quote from you from yesterday. My stroke was really good. This was after 4th in the 53. My body position's really good. My legs are strong. I just don't have the pop I'll need in 3 weeks.
100%. That's exactly what it was. Like I have the strength off the blocks. My underwaters are starting to come together. My stroke's coming together. I just don't have that really easy speed, and so that you feel that at the end. You start to fade at the end because you're trying to force that speed, and hopefully in 3 weeks that speed will come, and then the endurance will come afterwards.
And I would think being through this process so many times like you have, you know your body pretty well, don't you?
Yes, I do. I know my body pretty well. You know, this is the first full quad that I've done with Coach Durden, so it's a little bit different approach, but over the past 3 years, I know exactly what taper looks like with the Durds. So I know he knows what he's doing, and my training's been going really well. So I'm just putting my faith in the process.
Any hint at all what you're are you gonna swim the 100 back?
Yeah, I'll definitely do the 100 back. I would have loved to have done the 100 back here, but at I think out of however many Pro Series meets, the 100 back and 53 were always on top of one another. And there's no point in me practicing that double because it only exists in the Pro Series. It doesn't exist at the Olympic Games. It doesn't exist at trials or world championships. So, it's too late in my career to work on doubles if I don't need to.
You're talking about training with Dave Durden and the guys at CAP.
Yeah.
What's it like training with guys trying to push you?
I love it. I was just talking with some of the USA swimming people, and they were just saying, like, what a special group we have, and it's so true. Like, we are very much like siblings. We get along very, very well, but we also bicker like siblings, and they're my brothers, and I think it's been so fun. So hopefully I'll see this next little bit through with them.
I don't know if we have a minute before we get to break, and it's hard to even put in words in a minute, but have you been able to reflect? I just was looking at your bio, not that I don't know almost everything about you, but the superlatives are amazing. Of those 12 Olympic swims, for example, is there one that stands out?
The one that's the most memorable is defending my gold medal in 2008, just because I am a pretty even-keeled person. I just remember being overwhelmed with emotion and crying like a little baby. And I don't really cry, so it's really weird for me, and it was almost just as embarrassing as it was exciting. So it's the one that sticks the most with
Trust me, a lot of people cried for joy of tears for you on that one too.
Yeah,
it's an amazing one to watch.
It's an overwhelming one. It's so interesting, and it's a memory I'll never forget.
Certainly nice to have options to think about which one along the way. More action coming up here with the 1500. Natalie will stick around with us. You come back as well.
Picked up the base and is now pulling away from Jack McLaughlin. He's going to turn here at the 500 mark in 5:00:25. Cochran getting ready for his third Olympic Games as he'll represent Team Canada in Rio this summer. That's 700. Cochran turning 7:01:36. The next turn at the 15-meter turn will be the halfway point of 7:50. As Cochran leads Jack McLaughlin and Jared Pasquale turning third from lane 9.
The action continues to the men's 1500-meter freestyle. Ryan Cochran of Canada still comfortably in front as we hit the halfway point right now. Jason Knapp here with the Rowdy Gaines. Natalie Coughlin, great American performer in swimming, those 12 Olympic medals alongside. And the process for you now, 3 weeks to the trials. So give me the day-to-day. Can you give us a sense of a day-to-day for you coming up in the next 3 weeks, what that entails?
The day-to-day, the main thing is resting, so sleeping as much as I can. I'm obviously going to hit the water every day. I have to really watch what I eat. You know, when you go from training so much and you cut back, you have to watch your weight and make sure that you're not eating as much as you were in heavy training. And then from there, seeing my physical therapist, taking care of my body, all those little things. And socially, you end up becoming a little bit of a recluse because you have to rest as much as possible. And so it's tough in a lot of ways, but it's all part of the process.
Netflix and iTunes become your best friend.
Oh, very much so. Ask me any trivia on TV or movies. It's ridiculous how much.
What are you watching now? What's good now? What should I be watching?
Oh my gosh, I started watching Penny Dreadful, but I don't even know if it's good, but I just keep watching it.
Right.
Yeah, I watch a lot, but one of my favorites recently was Man in the High Castle. That's on Amazon. That's a really good one.
I'm into the first 3 episodes. I just watched the first 3 episodes. Yes, you're right. It's very good.
Yeah, so wait, Rowdy, do you have a favorite?
Fargo, Breaking Bad, absolutely the best. Game of Thrones is in there, but I love Breaking Bad. That's the greatest television series in history.
I 100% agree. Like, I get so jealous when I hear people haven't watched it. I'm like, I wish I could be in your place and watch it all again.
I can't imagine.
So, Rowdy, what is your favorite part of the Olympic trials?
for me, Natalie, I think the joy of watching somebody that has never made an Olympic team make their first Olympic team, that is such a huge thing. Even if they get second, you see more joy sometimes out of somebody that gets second, that makes that team for the first time, than you do somebody that actually wins it in his perspective.
It's such a pure emotion. Like I remember when I first made my first Olympic team, and I was hugging everyone in sight. Like,
Right.
pure strangers. I'm like, come here, let's celebrate. So that is, I would 100% agree. And Rowdy, it doesn't matter if you get first or second at the trials. It's just making the team and stamping.
And that's the only place really
Yeah.
that really doesn't matter whether you get first or second. Second is as good as first
Yeah.
at the Olympic trials, because you'll never remember who got second. I got second in my Olympic trials in '84, so yeah, it's a beautiful position, 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Like I got second in the 100 free a couple times, and second in the 200 IM, and I ended up medaling in all those. So it doesn't matter.
Jason, dude, I mean, I'm telling you, I can't begin to tell you how many amazing records this lady has. First woman ever to break a minute in 100 back.
It's true. Back when no one
Right?
did, and now everyone does.
Nobody did. I mean, nobody had ever broken. First woman in history to win 6 medals in one Olympics.
Oh, thank you, Rowdy.
I mean, I've got a list that it's just. I think it's really underrated too. The amount of different records and superlatives that Natalie Coughlin has. I've said it for so many years that it really flies a lot under the radar, and it really shouldn't. It's just unbelievable the career you've had.
I appreciate it. You're gonna make me get choked up again.
Final 400 here in the men's 1500. Ryan Cochran may not break a record, but he's certainly breaking down this field here with a comfortable margin in the advantage over Jack McLaughlin for second place. And Natalie, it's funny, you talked about it a little bit. You're 33, you're going through this process again, and certainly there are a lot of young swimmers. It's unique. You want to pass down and give back a little bit, but it's hard because some of those youngsters are the ones coming after to try to deny you. How do you go about trying to give a little bit back to some of the younger swimmers while not giving away all the trade secrets as you get ready for the trials?
I don't know if there actually are any trade secrets. It's just taking care of yourself and doing what works best for you. Everyone is different. But I gotta say, I really don't feel 33. Like I don't recover as quickly as I used to. But for the most part, it's crazy though. When you say 33, I'm like, really? I think I'm 25 still. I'm like perpetually in my mind 25.
I want to ask you about this event, because there was at one point. This is another amazing fact about Natalie.
Congress
She
108,
qualified for every single event, Jason, for the U.S. Nationals, and this was obviously one of the events. You remember swimming this 1500?
Rowdy, that's funny you
Or was it a
asked
bad
that.
dream?
I know. Funny. My very first mile long course is actually in this pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was at one of those zone.
How old
camps.
were you?
I think I was 12, and I
Oh my
think
God.
it broke 18 minutes, and that was like a big deal. But I remember thinking, hey, that's crazy.
Right?
That's really long. The 50 and the 100 are much more fun for me, but I love watching people like Ryan Cochran or Asun Yang or Katie Ledecky. I love watching people who are so good at this race and make the marathon swim really exciting.
I was going to ask you about Katie. What thoughts on Katie Ledecky?
She is just incredible. She is so incredible. She's so fun to watch. She's so confident. She's so unique. She was very quiet at first in London, and she just came out of her shell, and she knows who she is, and she's cool, and she's really fun to watch. But man, she's a stud.
Yeah.
She's a stud. I know she gives the boys a run for her money, her training partners. So I got to see her quite a bit up in Colorado Springs. We had training camps at similar times. I didn't train in her group. But she's...
Nobody does.
No one does. No one does. Yeah, but Gemmel trains with her. But yeah, she's incredible.
To the final 150-meter stretch here for Ryan Cochran, headed for home with a lead in the neighborhood of 8 seconds at this point over McLaughlin. The two-time Olympic medalist in this event, bronze in Beijing in 2008. Second place, silver in London 4 years ago, working his way towards the title here in Santa Clara. The bell sounds to signify the final stretch of this race and the final stretch of this meet and the Arena Pro Swim Series for the season.
This may be an unfair question, but have you thought about after Rio or after Omaha or whatever case may happen, have you Never say never.
Never say never. And, I know what a blessing it is to be in such good shape that I can still compete.
And do something you love.
Yeah, I love it. And, it's something that you take for granted when you're younger. So I'm just enjoying the ride. And then after Omaha and Rio, that's when I'll focus
Let's
on
wait
whatever's
until we
next.
get
Up in Victoria, British
Ryan
Columbia.
Cochran, not going to make us wait much longer for him to hit the wall. The Canadian
Touching first.
dominating here and winning 15:09.97. Jack McLaughlin, 21-year-old from Australia, takes second.
Jack McLaughlin, 15
Battle for third. Miguel Valente of Brazil going to hang on and finish on podium here in the 1500.
good solid splits there for Ryan Cochran. The guy can probably go 15 minutes from change anytime he wants to. 7:31 at the halfway mark when we came back from break. And then 7:38 the last 750. So pretty even splits there for Ryan Cochran, one of the best in the business in the mile.
Already has those Olympic rings ready to go on the shoulder. Ryan Cochran posting the win here in Santa Clara. And Michael Brinegar finishing up in lane number 1, 16-year-old from Golden West Swim Club in California. And finishing up in that field of the 1500 is through.
And now the light is at the end of the tunnel, isn't it, Natalie?
It is. It's crazy. It's all we have now are trials, which is a great thing, and it's also a very stressful thing. Many people, myself included, are just super antsy and just want to get through the next stage.
Let's get there, right?
Yeah.
Almost wish it was tomorrow to get going. Although you probably would have a little
I could
rest.
use at least another week of rest.
So Cochran caps the event here in Santa Clara with the win in the 1500. And again, the focus for the United States shifts towards the trials in Omaha here.